Welcome to the Talkin Trash Addiction Recovery Podcast. We suffered in silence. Now we recover out loud.
Good evening, Talkin Trashers. That's right. Hi, this is the 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock news at Waffle House. I'm your anchor. What do I do? Seymour Butt Kits? Yeah, I'm your anchor, IP Freely. Here we are. We're having a little bit of a different episode tonight. Jimmy's not here. Phyllis is in the mix. Brad's backstage. We're going to get this thing going here. But let's see, real quick with the show, I wanted to address a couple of real quick things before we go into our preamble. So just so everybody knows, we tape this show live, but it is a podcast that we catalog with Spotify and all that. So this live element has developed in a way that I never thought it could. And it's kind of blown up, and like people are we have friends, we have people in the comments, and we have these people that we love and we suffer with and we celebrate with, and it's a blessing to see it unfold that way. And I think we're all grateful for everybody just showing up and saying hi and hanging out with us. But we do put a lot of work into the show. There's no script, but we wing it a little bit. There is a direction we follow, and we do some readings and whatnot. But the real reason we do this is for people like Phyllis. Phyllis is I would say a survivor. She lost her son to overdose, and this is Overdose Awareness Month, and I'm no stranger to overdose. So we're gonna try and tie all that in together without blowing my head up and going crazy here. Our preamble, and then we'll meet the squadron, all two of us.
Recover out loud.
This is our humble broadcast, where ethics and personal anonymity are of the utmost importance. We run this podcast as an act of service to those whose lives have been affected by addiction. We don't do it for profit or notoriety. We place principles before personalities. We benefit from this podcast just as much as anyone else. We all work programs and choose to sacrifice our own anonymity to spread the word that recovery is possible. We do this thing in an attempt to show, as living examples, that no matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. That's the 9th step promise. It's our creed we abide by here on Talkin Trash. We feel called to uphold AA and NA principles. We firmly believe that you can only keep what you have by giving it away. Please join us in a moment of silence, followed by the Serenity Prayer.
God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Yes, Lordy. Let's meet the team of the Trash Talkers, huh? Oh, Brad, you want to do the intro? I mean, it's hard.
What do you got going on?
Yell what you see on the screen. It's kind of simple. I'll fuck it up for you, but we'll figure it out. Let's meet the team.
Let's meet the team, everybody.
Let's meet the team of Talking the Trash. All right. First on deck, I'll introduce you, and then you can take it. Bradley Mansfield. He is our director of he's our rock, is what he is. We love him. He's coming on 4 years clean and serene. He's doing a great job. Bradley, I pass it to you.
And now, what do we got here? Let's see. We got Jimmy Leibel. Jimmy, to me, is the anchor. He's the stone. He's the rock of the show. He 100%. Does so much outside of the podcast. He's just all-around great guy, always there to help us all. He's coming on 5 years, I think, sober.
5, yeah, yep.
Yeah. And William D, he's definitely a TikTok extraordinary. For me, Willie, he's the down to earth, yes, the salt of the earth. He's just the guy. I love him so much because Timmy Snyder.
Keep telling me about Will.
I want to tell you how I feel about Will, because
Please.
for Will for me he's the guy that, you're right, keeps everybody grounded. And there's so many times where I try to I make things difficult in my brain, and when he talks, he keeps it so simple and so real. So I love you for that, Willie.
It's a Southern thing, a Southern charm, but Will's the best. We had Elizabeth McKeon and Larry Foster in the mix on a regular basis, which is a huge win for the show. We're going to cash in on that on Sunday when Larry is in the house, but Liz is much prettier. Larry's coming up now.
And I'm backing it up because we missed Timmy, because that's one person we can't miss. This episode, this podcast, all the shit that everybody sees right now would never even happen without Timmy Snyder. So you the man, Timmy. We love you, buddy.
Likewise, ladies and gentlemen. No, I do. I love you guys. No tiny Mike tonight, BB. Not happening. He's just, Willie D and not the place to be, I guess. But he's our boy. He works. Listen, the sun doesn't go down for fucking 9 o'clock at night. So, he stays out and works.
He gives her.
Does he ever? For sure. Let's see. All right, daily.
Daily Reflections is an AA-driven enterprise of some sort. It's not ours, but we like you long time. Let's read Daily Reflapjacks here on the Talkin Trash Pod Flaps.
Yeah, come on. So there you have it. What are we doing? Daily Reflections. Bradley, how you feeling? You think you can read tonight?
I can do it.
Yeah.
I can try anyway.
Yeah, I have faith in you. Daily Reflections tonight is I think it's a good one that actually ties into what we're doing. It is a look backwards. Oh, it is a good one. Very good.
Oh boy.
All right, a look backwards. Look at Phyllis coming in looking nice. There she is. Middle of summer, mountain. All right, let's see. Daily Reflections.
Daily Reflapjacks. So Daily Reflapjacks, folks, a look backwards. First, we take a look backward and try to discover where we have been at fault. Next, we make a vigorous attempt to repair the damage we have done. 12 Steps, 12 Traditions, page 77. As a traveler on a fresh and exciting AA journey of recovery, I've experienced a newfound peace of mind, and a horizon appeared clear and bright, rather than obscure and dim. Reviewing my life to discover where I had been at fault seemed to be such an arduous and a dangerous task. Nice. It was painful. I actually studied that word beforehand. It was painful, and to pause and look backward, I was afraid I might stumble, and I couldn't put the past out of my mind and just live in the new golden present. I realized that those in the past whom I had harmed stood between me and my desire to continue my movement toward serenity. I had to ask for courage to face those persons from my life who still lived in my conscience, to recognize, deal with the guilt and their presence produced in me. I had to look at the damage I had done. Oh, I can't read it.
Right, that's the point.
I had done, and willing to make amends. Something could my journey with something resume.
Absolutely gorgeous. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I know. I'm so difficult with things. Yeah, that's like living in the past. Like, I want to hear what Phyllis has to say about this, because like this is it right here. This is grief. This is.
And I think with everybody, for again, I can only speak for myself, but I think addiction and alcoholism, or whatever you're suffering from, or whatever disease you do have, that's one of the biggest chores that I think I still deal with today, is shit from the past. You know what I mean? Like, I could sit here and say all day long that I've forgiven myself and all that, but there's days that I definitely haven't. You know what I mean? And I stumble across that, right? So the past is a hard one, right? I mean, but if you can use it as a tool for moving forward, you know, I've said this on the show before, Tim. I
know.
like to look back on my past before and be like, wait a second, I don't want to do that again. Right?
Exactly.
So there is some healthy stuff you can take out of it, even though it's some shitty stories, right?
I always make it seem like I came up with this one, but I didn't. I heard it from my dad. He said the past is a place of reference, not a place of residence. And I like it because it kind of rings and it makes sense. Like you want to learn from it. If you're pretending like your past didn't happen, you're not going to learn from anything, and you're going to repeat the past. So that's not what we want to do.
And that's what I like that too, because it's you don't want to. How can I say it? You don't want to ignore it, and you don't want to forget it, but don't live it, I guess.
Right. And it's easy to slip in between those two things. That's where sponsorship comes. That's where friends in recovery. That's where that stuff comes into play. Is like sometimes you just need a hand up, not a handout. Some advice, it's important. So I love what we're doing. I saw Bethany the other night and heard her Rock Bottom Revival and Lenore and Tammy. I was just
doing a fantastic job. Them guys are.
Well, I'm gonna help them. We're gonna make them look good. They're awesome, but they're awesome. They're on the right track, man. They're just like taking our torch and going a little further, and that's what they should do. They're fucking beauties. So I love seeing that. So Phyllis,
absolutely,
she is a repeat offender here on Talkin Trash. She's a friend. You know what I mean? Like it gets to a point where you just call these people friends. They come and go and season, reason, whatever. But like Phyllis is always going to be there because Phyllis's pain is managed by doing stuff like this and helping other people. And she'll share that with you. But she's been on here 5 times, and every time she comes on, I'm like, I feel like we don't get to know who Trey was, and so we're going to address that. We're going to try and talk
is this her 5th time right now, Timmy?
I think this is her 5th. Yeah. So, and she's just, she's down to earth. She's over by me. She's in the next state over. She's been through it, and she herself is in recovery, and she doesn't I don't know, the way she navigates. I give her too much credit, but I don't think so. I think the way she navigates both recovery, the loss of her son, and spreading the message about overdose awareness, and she does not want Trey's death to be in vain, and I get it. So like, I'll flip the fucking show upside down for her if I have to. But she's a beauty. She's just absolutely beauty. So I'm grateful for her. Thanks, BB.
What's up, BB in the house?
Peoples, they're cool, man. It's just fun. It's just they make it.
I actually watched her episode. I couldn't watch it live the other night because I was busy or whatever, but I watched it afterwards, like when she switched to the Tuesday nights.
Yeah, absolutely.
Deadly. They did a great job.
My advice to everybody is approach it like this is recorded, and that's what's important. It doesn't matter if you technical problems or shit's not working or whatever. Things are recorded in live time, and that's what makes this special. And they helped me see that. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that's what was happening. And we're all family here now. So I want to bring Phyllis in. I wanted to do something first, and I just wanted to make it all about me. You know what I mean? Like, that's pretty much everything I do. Unfortunately, I also overdosed and have a similar story. And it could have gone either way for me, man. I just happened to wake up, And so we're going to hear from Tim Sr., my dad. And then we're going to bring in Phyllis, and we'll get her going.
So here it is. It's Christmas Eve. And Tim said, "Well, where's everybody going?" I said, "Well, Mom's going to sing at church." And he said, "Well, I'd like to go to that." And that kind of perked me up a little bit. That's nice. Sure, we'll go. Well, at 4:45, we didn't get to go because he was dead on his bathroom floor. And when I say dead, I say he was dead. I know dead. I've seen dead. I've resuscitated hundreds of people. I know dead when I see it. No heartbeat, no respirations. This kid was so blue, he was black. And I dialed 911. So they got there 5 or 10 or 16 minutes. It's been a long time. So I came back in and they had given Narcan, and I said, is he breathing? And they said no. And I said, And I thought, he's dead. And then as they gave him the next dose of Narcan, woke up. He woke up wide awake. One of the cops kind of sarcastically said to him, he said, "You ought to be glad you know what your father's knows, or you'd be dead by now." And that struck me so hard because you know what? I didn't do anything.
To me.
That, the Lord heard the cries. He heard the cries of a desperate dad. And I was so grateful that he was alive. And I tell you, I had nothing to do with it. 41 years anesthesia, put thousands of people to sleep, intubated another 5 million people. And my skills meant nothing like that. Meant nothing. And you know what? I apologize for that emotion there for.
No need
No,
to.
don't. Never. Especially on our podcast. We cry all the time.
So, Phyllis, I don't know if that's hard for you to see. I know you. I would never spring something like that on you, but I want to continue that discussion. I was the lucky one. That's all it really was. That nobody's better, nobody's worse. It just so happened it was his time and it wasn't mine. And so anyway, ladies and gentlemen, our best friend ever in the world, Phyllis Kleiber, is in the house with us. She's the first time on with Brad, but that's our show's growth, and it's just been beautiful. I met Phyllis a few years ago, and he was a good dude, and it's just it wasn't mine, it was his. But Phyllis, introduce us to you for the ones that don't know you, and let us get it kicked off here. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. It was a little hard. I felt your dad's emotions when I got that phone call. Yeah. When I got that phone call, I was dashing, and I was a detective, I guess, and I'm Detective so-and-so. Are you Phyllis Kleiber? Are you the mother of Arno C. Lamb? And that was his legal name. And my first reaction was, yeah, what jail is he in? What hospital is he in? Yeah. I knew if Trey kept going the way he was going, that was gonna happen. Yeah. But you never expect that phone call. Yeah. When I got that phone call, I hung up on her. I'm like, I was in shock.
Not real.
It just wasn't real. But I've hidden that grief now for like a year and a half, and I finally got to the end of it. And it's a different sadness. Right. I miss him, but I know he's in heaven. I've had signs. I've had, especially when his son's around. I think when Alex is around, or Braylon and his other daughters were here in the summer, I feel like a presence. I think that Trey's let me know he's around.
Yeah. He lives on through his kids and through you, and it's just,
absolutely.
I understand your urgency to get the word out there and save somebody the pain that you suffered. We certainly understand that kind of urgency with a message. Can you, as much as you want to tell us, really, but like, if you want to give us a little story about Trey, something,
Trey, he was when he was sober and when he was clean, there he is. See, he was such a loving father. Yeah. He was such a loving father. And oh shoot, what happened here? Uh-oh. Where did I go?
I had a text message. Yeah, he's
there we go. Sorry about that.
That's right. Everybody gets text messages.
He was a good father. He was a good husband. He was a good provider when he was sober. And then but he wasn't a drinker. But then when he started drinking, that's when the alcoholism immediately. It was just immediately. He was an asshole when he drank. I couldn't stand being around him.
Yeah.
You know, I just couldn't, you know, especially when I was sober. You know, there's nothing like being around a drunk when you're sober, right?
Yeah, oh, that's the worst.
Yeah.
I know.
You know,
Are there any good drunks though? I don't really recall
I
anybody
haven't met any.
successfully.
I know
pulling
I
that
know when
off.
I drank liquor, forget it. I was 10 feet tall and bulletproof, and I beat cops
Right.
up, and you know, I beat people up, and you know,
Brad knows all about that. He
Mm.
gets the boot to the chest with the law enforcement's up there, and fucking, when I started drinking at 36 years old, and when I say started drinking, I mean I drank alcoholically because I didn't know any other way to do anything else other than all in. So when I started drinking, shit got bad, you know, DUIs and accidents, and like
Yeah.
the stakes changed immediately. I was a successful drug user for fucking 20 years until this. I started drinking, all falls apart. So like I can understand like that. It can really, I mean, talk about fuel on the fire. It really, for an addict, I mean, it's really dangerous.
I think my
Well,
first
there's-
DUI, I racked up 7 charges. 2 simple batteries on a police officer, eluding the police, just a lot.
So
Yeah,
there's another prime example of anybody that has this disease,
Yeah.
honestly, like addiction, alcoholism, or you know what I mean. There's no gray area for me. I was
Right.
either wide open
Yep.
or nothing, and it was
Yeah.
wide open for 33
Yeah.
years. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I do, like you guys said. Do you know any people that are good drunks? And I guess if you want to label drunks as
Yeah.
alcoholics, but I know people that can drink like Brad can't drink, if that makes
Right,
sense.
I know.
Like I do know people that can do it, and early in my sobriety, Phyllis, it used to piss me fucking off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd see somebody having fun drinking, and then they could have 4 beer and stop. I'm like,
Jealousy.
I wish I could have done that. You know what I mean? Like I used to get so mad that people could
What
do
about
that.
when you go out to dinner and they leave the freaking wine glass half full?
Oh,
I've had
yeah.
enough. Like, what the fuck? Oh,
Enough.
How
Shove that in my face.
people are so inconsiderate when they're under the influence. I don't get it. I mean, my friend Matt Johnson is in the chat right now. You want to talk about a guy who, like, I thought was a successful drunk. I'm like, this dude has got it figured out. Matt did not, but alas, here we all are. You know, I never liked to drink. Matt introduced me to marijuana, and when I was 17 years old, I didn't really like alcohol. I didn't like the way I felt, but man, once I found painkillers, I was like, "Yep, that's what I am. I'm a painkiller addict, whatever that means, and that's how this is gonna go." And that's how it went.
Well,
So
you know, I was introduced to Alcoholics Anonymous when I was 12.
I know. Explain
Well, I
that.
mean,
Like, what?
I was a full blown alcoholic and drug addict at 12. You know, I couldn't control my drinking. You know, my stepdad knew right away, you're coming in here with me, and I could never understand and freak. Why am I in here when all the other kids are out there?
Right.
You know, and I
Yeah.
couldn't get it. And you know, my addiction carried for 40 something years. You know, I decided at 50, I've had enough. I'm tired, and
Yeah. Now
all the
I'll
bullshit
stop.
and the
Yep.
consequences and all that crap. You know,
Yeah.
I always thought I had a police problem. If they would just leave me the hell alone when I was drinking and dragging, that'd be fine.
It's definitely their fault.
You know, just leave me alone. I'm good. You know, it was
Definitely,
normal
yeah.
to drive down at 4 o'clock in the morning down the highway at 90 miles an hour to go get crack cocaine, right? That's
It
normal.
is normal. I would.
So I'm
I would
gonna
do it
ask
around
Phyllis.
3,
So
but-
how long have you been sober and clean now?
I'm coming up on 15 years.
At a girl, nice.
November 22nd. How is Alabama people say it? God willing, in the creek don't rise. You know, I'll be 15,
Yep.
15
That's
years.
our girl. I
Nice.
know.
Congratulations.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. It's
Congratulations.
been rough, you know. I'm not perfect at this.
Nobody
You know?
is. That's the beauty of this, because we all get to feed off each other and learn from each other's mistakes. So that would be a downfall for me, Phyllis. If I
Yeah.
thought that this was perfect and going to be flawless,
Mhm.
I would be fucking up, probably. Pardon my
yeah,
French,
you know?
because I have to learn and I have to accept that this isn't going to be perfect for me.
Mm-mm.
All these things are going to happen. Like, so I have a question for you, Phyllis, if it's
No,
okay.
that's fine.
So you've been on 4 times. I've seen your story a few times,
Mm-hmm.
and sorry to hear about Trey and all that stuff.
Right.
Definitely, tragic. But with that being said, being sober 15 years and knowing some of the things that have happened to you,
Right.
what did you take out of that that's helped you today? So as a shitty thing that happened, and I know it sounds bad, but
Yeah.
what did you take from that helped Phyllis today? Do you know what I mean? Because in a bad situation, you know what I mean? There's got to be something that you can take out of that to help Phyllis in her recovery as well, right? I don't know if that's a weird question or not,
No,
but
it's not.
I'm curious.
And I don't have an answer for that one. I really do. You know, I carried so much guilt and shame and remorse that I felt there was something I could have done as his mother. There was something I could have done. And I beat myself up for a year and a half after I lost Trey until I finally realized, and God sat me down, no human power could have relieved him of his alcoholism or addiction.
No.
Only God could have saved Trey. You know, and that's why I'm still sober. There's been times that I'm like, oh, fuck this shit. I'm going balls to the wall and I know where to go. I know where to go. And it's a temporary fix, but you know what? I know what the drinking and drugs, it's going to take away that pain. But there's not enough drugs or alcohol that's going to bring Trey back. And that's what keeps me sober and clean. You know, I found God in AA. I honor him by going to church. You know, I'm a big part of Celebrate Recovery. I love Celebrate Recovery. I still go to AA. It's where, you know, that's where I started. Fuck, I've been going there since 12. I should know the big book back and right. No, but I don't. I am not a big book thumper, you know?
Sure. Yeah.
But, you know, I sponsor people. You know, I haven't been at the prison for a while. You know, I went in when Trey was like 4 months gone. And I really feel God put me there to reminisce. This is because I was in prison because of my addiction.
I know it.
You know, and because of my mouth, really. You know, my mouth has basically got me there. You know, I was in drug court. I'm like, oh no, we're not doing this shit either.
I love you, Phyllis.
You know, we're not doing that. And in prison, my mouth, you know, and I said, what did I say? I said the word fuck, I think. And it was disorderly conduct or something to a police officer. I said, I'm not fucking saying it to you there. I get the CERT team. You know, the CERT team is these big old black men that have got they must be on so much, what is it called with steroids?
Yeah.
It scared the crap out of me, but I went to lockdown. And they had said, well, are you ready to conform? I'm like, oh, yes, I am. Let's just do this and get the hell out of here. Because, you know, I was facing prison. And I didn't want that. I didn't want that. You know?
All those guards, their testicles are this big. So that's the caveat to them using steroids. Good
exactly.
Oh, so I need to be a prison guard.
We're doing those. Matt says, I drank when me and Tim were still hanging out. He became an alcoholic, dude. Of course, yeah, dude. I know. But Matt could take it up a different level and not kill himself, like fall down the steps or whatever. Matt could take it up a notch and then like wake up safe in a safe place the next day, which was pretty impressive, considering the states I found him in. Matt, I told them last episode about the time I found a locust attached to your bottom lip, and then when I ripped it off. It scared the shit out of me. You know, Matt wanted to kill those guys.
I don't, you know, I think most people, if you're an alcoholic, you're an addict. If you're an addict, you're an alcoholic.
Yep.
You know,
right? Exactly.
And
interchangeable.
I'd like to see an addict go out there and try some controlled drinking and see where that gets them. You know, that's like me saying, well, you know, I'm an alcoholic. I'm going to sit in this bar. But I'm going to casually do a line or two of cocaine, but I'm not an addict. I'm just going to casually do it.
Yeah.
Make it make sense. You know, if they're an alcoholic, they're an addict. If they're an addict, they're an alcoholic.
I think that disease is hand in hand, whether you're an alcoholic or an addict. You still have that disease. So like how many times over the years, I'm sure we all have come across that where someone might have had a drug issue, like you just said. And then next thing, so I was never a big pill person. Do you know what I mean? Like, so cocaine and booze were my thing, dabbled in other shit, obviously. But I know damn well right now, if you know, obviously I don't want to use, but if I started thinking that I could just take some pills and feel good about it for like, you know, for a recreational use, there was no turning back. It would be all or nothing. I would be a pill junkie. That's just how it is. Like,
Yep.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
That is-
I have that disease and I know that.
more.
And I'm thankful to know that I do know that, because I can work with it knowing that I am sick. Before, when I didn't know I was sick and didn't think I was sick, that was a problem.
Yeah.
Knowing that I am sick isn't a problem because I can work with it. Do I have some
Right.
hiccups along the way? Fucking rights I do. But
Yep.
I can work through it because I know I'm sick.
Right. Matt,
I didn't like taking pills around my daughter. She was the Soma freaking sniffer. Jesus Christ. If I took one, Mom, you taking pills? I couldn't get away with it with her. But you know what I'm so blessed about? I've got 6 beautiful grandchildren. They're just my entire life.
We know. That's awesome.
2
That's awesome.
out of the 6 have only seen me under the influence. And that's my Trey's oldest daughter. And she's in college and she's got her own apartment. And I'm so freaking proud of her. And my grandson, my oldest grandson, Everett. Now, those 2 saw me, but the other 4 have never seen me high, have never seen me drunk. And that's the blessing in all this.
That's beautiful.
You know?
It really is. Like,
Yeah.
like my friend Matt Johnson, he has every reason to. I don't know. He was dealt a shit sandwich. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every reason to blame his drinking or whatever he did on somebody else, and he never did that. And I always respected him for that. And I respect anybody who owns their own shit. And like the question that Brad asked about, it was so pointed that it like kind of rang true with me. Like I every word made sense. Brad, when Phyllis talks, do you feel like the pain in her voice, like in her bravado a little bit, starts to shimmy, and I can hear you catch it. And it's actually, I want to, a lot of people wouldn't be able to do what you're doing right now ever. And not, let alone 5 times.
I went to Bradford Monday night, and Bradford, was the last place that I saw my son alive. And I went and spoke there. And it was hard. I remember Trey coming out and he had the biggest bear hugs, it would lift me up off the floor, Mama Dukes. That was the last place,
Yeah. Man.
Then I think it was like 2 months later is when he passed away. But, I know I'm going to miss him forever. He was my ride or die, I don't know. Tim, I told Tim this story, but I haven't, told you, but Trey and I were in jail together for simple battery.
Mother like son. I mean, listen.
Because my mouth, once again, got me in jail. I wasn't going, only Trey was. But let me tell you something else. And okay, put your hands behind your back. So we were both in jail for simple battery, But this is the mother I was. I told the judge I provoked it. It was my fault. I'm going to sit here. Just let my son go. He's got family to take care of. Just let my son go. He reduced the bond for both of us. And here my daughter's pulling up in the driveway. We're going to go Christmas shopping. And she's seeing her. There goes her brother. Out comes her mother, both in cuffs. And like, what the?
I know.
I have to laugh about that now. I have to laugh about stuff like that. I mean, I have a lot of good memories with Trey.
Absolutely,
and I have turned in. In fact, I was going to show you guys the T-shirt. Someone got this T-shirt for me. I don't know if you guys can read it. It's called Nazi Bitch Sponsor.
Who got that? Your sponsee?
I think my sponsee, a couple of my sponsees were telling me, but she's a Nazi bitch sponsor. But you know what? I'd rather be a Nazi bitch sponsor than speaking at their funeral.
And you know what? You're probably speaking what needs to be said. You're probably not beating
they don't
around
like
the
hearing the
bush,
truth.
right?
There's a couple of people that don't like hearing the truth.
Most.
And,
I don't think anybody really does.
Unless it's good,
right? So if it's exactly if it's negative towards me, I'll say you know what I mean. It's hard to deal with because in our heads we probably know the person that's telling that is probably fucking right. But at the end of the day, we don't want to emit No one likes to admit we're wrong. No one likes to admit our downfalls or our weaknesses and all that shit, right? So there's another step in recovery that all of us have to, like, let's say all of us, but I can only speak for myself. But that's a big step in recovery, is learning to accept that. When, if Tim calls me out on something, I'm just using it as an example, but if Tim calls me out on something that I'm doing something, I probably fucking needed to hear it. And I probably need to work with that. You know what I mean?
growth.
Because that's growth. But that is a major downfall, I think, for people that are addicts or alcoholics, or I say addicts because I tie it all together. Because if I can't take that shit sandwich sometimes and roll with it and try to learn from it, that's a problem.
I've got the
really good
most
advice.
patient, empathetic sponsor. I just love my sponsor, Melissa. She's got less time than me, but I didn't look at that. When I met her and I started going to meetings with her, and she's been sponsoring now, I think going on 3 years, maybe 4. I'm not really sure. She's awesome. I could not have gotten through these past 2 years without her and God. There's just no way. There's no way. I cry to her. I miss Trey. I think that's the biggest problem, is I miss him. He was my ride or die. We've had some talks. We've had a talks that, at the very end, Tim knows this. I blocked him. I had to draw healthy boundaries.
Yeah.
And I felt like fucking shit.
Yeah.
But
what a strange thing, right, Brad? He overdosed as an adult, so like my age, he overdosed halfway through his life. She played a sober role in his life for 12 years or however, over a decade. It is not the normal story. It's really not. It's like kind of 100% unique, almost. Like I haven't quite heard it like this, and like I knew it, but I always just busy trying to get it done. But like it's just incredible.
What did I tell people? There's people out there sometimes that say, well, maybe you've been enabled him. Yeah,
he's a grown man. No, he wasn't 18 years old.
I was parenting him.
Exactly.
Okay, as an addict and alcoholic, I knew I would never give up on him. If I was 80 years old, pushing my walker down to a rehab, if that's what he wanted, that's what his mother would be doing. Okay,
exactly.
All right.
He would take turns between me and his wife, and we would joke about it later, I said, has he called you today? Because he hasn't called me. She goes, oh, hell no. Yeah, I already got the phone call. He raises hell with her, or he was raising hell with me. And finally I said, oh, I'm going to get you into rehab. So I got him to California.
Yeah, I know.
All the way to California.
Gone. All the way over there. Gone.
Yeah. Yeah. He was, a good bit away, But hell, that wasn't no damn rehab. That was let's ride the horses on the beach and go to Starbucks every day. I don't know what the hell that was.
Your inner being.
Yeah, let's exercise on the beach and do yoga or something. That wasn't no damn freaking rehab.
So I'm thankful, Phyllis, that you're here sharing this story. And I know it's been shared a few times, but I mean, for the people out there that, like, for example, and again, I'm not trying to open up a wound or anything.
Oh,
but
no, you're fine.
So there's a mom who was sober and watching her son struggle with drugs and alcohol, right? Like, so it's sad. Like, it brings tears to my eyes because there's other people out there that are dealing with this stuff right now, right? And that because it's real. It's fucking real. You know what I mean? And you sharing your story and being so real about this, Phyllis, other people are out there hearing that. You give hope, you give inspiration, and you show a lot of courage.
I've been kind of down lately, and I needed to hear that, and I appreciate that.
Because it's true. So Tim mentioned something here earlier, and I wanted to touch on that. Like when he said, what do I hear when I hear Phyllis talk? You know what I hear, Phyllis? I hear fucking strength. Because at the end of the day, and I apologize for saying this, you've been dealt a fucking shitty hand. You know what I mean? There's some stuff that's happened in your life but you've conquered. You've climbed to that mountain and you've done it. And you know what I mean? And you're fucking 15 years sober. You're 15 years clean, and you're sharing your story, and you're helping other people by doing that. So. Again, sad situation.
Think about this, Brad. She had every excuse not.
Thank you, Phyllis. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah, she did, and she didn't give up. She's still smashing that ball out of the fucking stadium, and she's doing it and sharing it with people. Like Phyllis, to me, I'm 3.5 years sober. Hearing you talk and what you're saying, and again, I'm not trying to blow smoke up your ass.
Yeah.
You are helping so many people that are listening right now from what you are doing. So keep doing you. That's all you got to do. You just keep doing you, girl. You keep doing you, girl.
Thank you. Well, you know, these podcasts help though, because it gives me an outlet. You know, it gives me an outlet to talk about Trey and to speak about Trey. And, you know, sometimes I get the feeling that maybe, you know, if I was getting if I stop talking about him, then he's going to think that I've forgotten and that I don't love him anymore. You know, and that's not true, because that he was my ride or die, man. He was my, you know, when he was always putting money on my books. When there's times he was sober and mom was fucking up.
Yeah.
You know, and we was putting money on my back. When I got out of prison, he was right there, you know, with a new cell phone, and took me shopping and got me clothes and the whole 9 yards. Trey has always been his mom's right-hand man. You know, we've had very toxic parts of our relationship.
Who hasn't?
But Trey and I love each other very, very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
so you saying that right there, like, again, me just getting to know you, Phyllis, this is great for me, because everything you're saying in my eyes is when you, of course, you're going to think about your son, and of course you're going to talk about your son, but you're doing it in so many positive ways. You're not bringing up, you know what I mean? Because I'm sure there's some negative stuff. Everybody has that, right? But everything you're doing, you're thinking of the positive things, you know, like, oh, he helped me with, you know, everything you just said in the last 4.5 minutes was nothing but positive fucking-tivity. And so that's what you do. And I think you do that really well. So I'm recognizing it, because this is all fresh. I'm the virgin in the house with Phyllis, like, because I haven't got to experience Phyllis. So
Tim, did I notice a wedding ring on your finger?
Me?
No. Tim.
Oh, me. No, I got a tattoo with some girl. I was high. It was a whole thing. Don't worry about it. No.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I've been trying to shoot my shot with you for I don't know how motherfucking long, and I see the wedding ring on your finger.
I can't remove it.
I didn't even recognize it till now.
I do bad things when I'm high.
I'm like, what the hell? Is there something I don't know about?
Wait a second. I want to stop both of you. Phyllis, please come back. Don't let that deter you.
She's here. No, I forgot about that.
He's only a state over. I've been telling him to come to Alabama a couple times for these recovery things, you know.
I love it.
The Saskatchewan jet stream flows right through Alabama, right up the eastern seaboard. It's just
that's
ridiculous. Awesome. See why she comes back though, Brad? Like, she's one of us, and like, she's one of us. Period.
Absolutely.
We don't need statistics. We don't need fucking. She's one of us. I mean, and me and Phyllis have you know, we've talked. You know what I mean? Like, we've tried to each other. You know, forget it. We go through tough shit, and you reach out to whoever's right there at the moment. And,
I remember I called you. I was in a really dark place, man. I really. There's times that I wasn't sure I was coming back from it. There's times I just wanted to be with Trey, and people, why you've got a daughter, you've got grandkids, you know, none of that matters.
Yeah.
When I'm hurting so badly for my son, and I just want to be with him. Mm-hmm. But, you know, God has saved me from that, because I know it's all it's just a bunch of bullshit, because, you know,
we'll meet him. We'll meet him soon.
I'm going to meet up with him. I think he's going to, he will be one of the first people there. You know, 100%. I have lost so many family members to addiction. It was just wide open. I didn't stand a chance. I really believe I was born with it. You know, my dad, my birth father was an alcoholic, and I only saw him really drunk one time when I was about 10. Yeah. He killed somebody drinking and driving, but I didn't know about this. But back then, he did 52 weekends in jail. I think he did a whole year of just weekends in jail. Back then, DUIs weren't, horrendous. Yeah. Like they are today.
They didn't end your 10-year loss of license.
My grandfather was an auto body guy. This is kind of off topic, but back then he could drink and drive all the time. So I'm not even joking. He'd get burnt for drinking and driving. He'd come home, he'd paint his truck a different color, and off he'd go again. Obviously he was born in the 20s or whatever, but that's a legit story. Like my grandfather, Herbie, that's what he would do. Yeah, he would literally paint his truck and carry back on.
Herbie. Herbie the love bug.
Herbie Trimper. Yeah.
That's so funny. We come
I
from fucked up
spray
people.
painted a Pinto black. God.
All right, there's so many things wrong with that statement. I don't know where to begin.
I think it's hilarious.
I did. I spray painted my Pinto black because I didn't want it to be
Pinto.
seen.
Half the people in rehab right now are watching. They're like, "Who's a Pinto? What does that mean?"
What the hell's a Pinto?
Right?
Aren't they? Well, they were Pontiac, aren't they?
I believe that was
Pintos. They were,
wasn't that
they
what
had, like,
Wayne's
the
World?
hatchback.
Wayne's World, right?
I remember the Pinto.
Yeah.
They were kind of like roundish.
Yeah, and they had a big old hatchback. Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt would know.
Yeah, I've been in the back of those before.
But you know, I'm tough with my sponsees. You know, I don't take any crap from them. You know, I just don't.
Well,
you know, I've had you know, a couple girls who I love just recently decided that it was just a good idea to, you know, to go out and drink and do other things. And you know, I'm like, what the fuck? You know, I don't. They were afraid to tell me because they know I'm a bitch. You know, I mean, where in the hell was this going to get you?
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, you are so needed. You know what I mean? Like, we all have our role to play, and like, you're not going to feed anybody bullshit. That's not.
I was just gonna say, like, for you to say, they're saying you're a bitch. Are you? Or are you just telling people what they need to hear? So
probably.
It's
never been a bitch to me.
That's what I mean. It's different. It's so if you didn't care,
nice young.
you know what I mean? If you didn't care and you had people that, you know what I mean? Like if somebody's telling you something,
let me ask both of you this question. What would you, if you had just been in recovery, maybe say 6 months or less than a year.
Yep.
And you relapse, would you ever say something like, I just wasn't strong enough? That's fucking bullshit, because you know what? You can be strong enough after 5 days. It's the choice you make.
100%. Yeah. It's a
whether you
mindset.
want to drink or whether you want to drug. You can't say it was right there, or I wasn't strong enough, or I didn't have enough recovery behind my belt. That's bullshit to me, because I've been around this too damn long.
Yeah.
You either choose recovery and God,
Excuse me.
or you choose to go out and drink or drug.
It's
If you're
either
going to
or at this
relapse,
point.
you've never got that first step.
I've been sober just over 3.5 years.
Yeah.
And I've been around situations where people I know will say, where I've seen cocaine on the table or I've seen booze.
Yeah.
And honestly, this state where I'm at right now, it doesn't bother me because it's me. It's me that I have to
Yeah, because the
worry
problem
about.
is it's always been between your ears, right?
100%.
100%.
So I can be in situations like that. I just leave, or it doesn't bother me. You know what I mean? So I've been around those situations. So it's me. I agree with 1,000%.
Like addiction
Phyllis.
addiction is an asshole, because like every time I didn't want that shit to fall in my fucking lap. When I'm withdrawing and I need it, couldn't get nothing. You know what I mean? So like
Exactly. It's just a vicious cycle.
Many. It's the one's too many and 1,000's never enough thing. Like I'm
Have
either
you ever
gonna be
drank
fucking-
yourself sober?
well, once
Yeah.
a couple
Yeah,
times,
I've
couple
drank
times,
myself sober. Like
right.
I've just drank this gallon of wine. I'm not really feeling much, you know?
Yeah.
I've drank myself
easy
sober
to get into
before.
recovery. It's easy to get into this thing on a losing streak. You know what I mean? It's a lot harder to come in and say, I got a problem. Most of us are told we have a problem before we admit we have one. You know what I mean?
Well.
All right, so we're going to do a little thing called Around the Room. So
Round and round, what comes around goes around. I'll tell you.
copyright issues.
You almost got me singing there. I was on mute.
I know, right? Well, so I can get 6 seconds of rat in without getting my balls busted. The question is, what are you still trying to prove, and who are you trying to prove it to? I'll let my two friends here think about what their answer is going to be. Jimmy, of course, had to weigh in. He's not here, but he had. This is what we do: we put your name on the screen, and you talk about it till you're done. Very exciting, I know. Jimmy, this is Jimmy's response. Oh, I thought I had it. Jimmy was very sweet man, very good.
He's the fucking beauty.
I put it in here. Gotta be in here.
I love that guy, man.
He's a gooder.
He's too small for the size of his heart. That's for sure.
Is he ever? This is Jimmy's answer. I want to prove that the man I am is stronger than the man I used to be. Not perfect, just without mistakes. Just honest, accountable, and willing to keep growing. Proving it to myself and to others still suffering from addiction. You have my blessing to steal this. Yes, I came up with this all by myself. But that's Jimmy's answer, and I think we'll all have some kind of answer like that. It's also Brad and Sherry's anniversary. Happy anniversary, my friend. We love you very much.
I love you, baby.
Good job. Brad, can you read our upcoming guests for us?
I can do that.
Guests.
I gotta lean in close to the phone here. So our upcoming guest. So Sunday, August 16th.
There you go.
Yeah, August 16th, Larry Foster. We love that guy.
Very good.
And then on the 19th, we have Sober Papa Joey. I like the sounds of that. Not sure who it is, but that's going to be awesome. August 29th, we have Liz. She is a recurring guest. She's going to be on once a month. She's super educated. And honestly, she's taught me a lot. So I'm thankful to have her on board. That's awesome.
She's a gooder.
August 26th, we have Doug Matthews. I don't know. August 30th, we have Tina C. Go Tina C. September 6th, we have Matt Sandberg. And then September 13th, we have Katie Longmire.
There you have it, folks. And Tina C. I will be saying it every show for the month of August. She is 10 years clean and serene. She's I don't know. She's part of the grassroots of this thing. And, 10 years, that's a big fucking deal. She chooses not to drink every day. She, Brad, just like you were saying, she makes that choice every day. And, I gotta tell you, the women, Bradley, are way more inspiring than us because I get all my inspiration from our ladies. And, this one is one of them.
Well, like Phyllis said tonight, Tim, and I love that, Phyllis, because I knew for a long time before I went to rehab that I was fucking up, and I knew I had a problem. I just didn't want to admit it, and I didn't want to let people know that I was weak in admitting it. That's what I thought. Viewers. It's not weak, but that's what I thought. Right. And the biggest thing was, like Phyllis said, it's in between my ears. So my major problem was what was going on inside of my own head. I was my own worst enemy, right?
Yep.
So once I could figure out my mental stability, my recovery did get easier. So my addiction and my mental stability are hand in hand. You know what I mean? So my issues that I had as a kid, or my defects that I still deal with today that I'm still working on, I can recognize them though, right? So that was a big one for me, Phyllis, was realizing that I'm not real mentally strong. I'm definitely getting there, but I had to realize that I had mental stuff that I need to work on. So that's a huge one for addiction, I think, for everybody. And I think the sooner that people realize that and deal with that, the better for the addicts. Absolutely.
I think that you identifying it is the biggest strength that you can do right now. Anybody, you identify it and know that it's there. There's strength in knowing. There's strength in knowledge, obviously. And Brad, you've come a long way. And told so did Phyllis and who was I thinking of just for a moment, and then I lost my train of thought. You've come a very long way since your first episode. Phyllis has been on 5 times, and now that she's on here right now, and I'm experiencing her on here again, I'm like, holy shit! Now I remember why she's such a good guest and why she's family. Like, it's sort of for this is why we don't let things. We don't lose touch. We make sure we stay in touch with people and we keep this thing going. But she's one of us through and through, and she deserves.
Absolutely.
She deserves our strength, our love, our support in any way, shape, or form. But
I'll tell you one thing I'm pissed off about. That I'm only here for the 5th time and I missed the first 4 times with Phyllis.
Oh, you stop it.
It was nice meeting you, though. I had to pay attention to all these new people, but Jim's still on there, and then Will. So you're okay.
He's a new guy. Yeah,
I'm the new guy.
You're the new guy.
There needs to be a 4th. We're trying to rectify that and try to dig our roots a little deeper. I
can tell you though, the fuckers are stuck with me, Phyllis.
Fucking A, right.
That'd be all right.
That's a 2-way street. that is a two-way street right there. But like both of you, the dead serious. Like I said, this from the bottom of my heart. I can, as I think about it now, Brad to now and Phyllis to now. Nobody's trauma is more important or less important, and we're just all there in the same fucking boat. And some of us get a shittier stick fed to us. So we're here with you, like just the other side of it. He should be here today. He's not. And sorry. So what do we have to do to fix this problem that's happening? A 40-year-old man, he's lived half his life, and he gets his fatherhood taken from him and his kids taken from them. It's hard to I understand your urgency and wanting to just get the fucking message out there and just be like, look, but I think the message with you, and it always is it's not look at what I've been through. It's look at what I've become because of what I've been through.
And I made a promise to Trey. We always made a promise to, and I promised him, that I would always keep his kids together. He's got 3 kids from 3 different mamas. So, yes, he was a hoe, but, in the summertime, those kids are always together. I flew Braylon out here this year. Lacey drove from Georgia, and Alex already lives here. And we all went zip lining. That was a trip.
Awesome.
I'm not doing that shit again. I did it in Jamaica. And I had a blast. I'm too fucking old, and I got stuck.
Yeah, there's pictures. It's a whole thing. Oh my god. No,
I'm just kidding.
I got stuck, and the damn. I'm sure the grandkids were loving the hell out of that.
Oh my god.
Grandmothers, and I wasn't looking at. I was looking at no motherfuckers. I'm dying right here. Wheel me back in right now. And then Gentry, Grandma, we told you 5 times how to brake. You could have told me 25 times. It wasn't computing. So when I broke, I slammed into the tree.
I got it.
I'm not doing that shit again. That's not a memory I want.
No. Thankful. We gotta get out.
It does sound funny from the grandkids' point of view, probably though.
Oh, I'm sure they videotaped it. I would, they loved the hell out of that one.
I didn't start laughing again until I got sober, and I realized that I wasn't laughing the whole fucking time. Am I faking it? I guess I was. Before this person, that person. When I got sober, I really started laughing, and I got jolted back to when I was younger, and we're having fun, and everything's funny, and you're genuinely laughing. I've seen this dude do some of the craziest things you would not even imagine. So like our friends, we all kind of come back together and kind of, meet each other where we're at this stage in life, and be grateful that we have Phyllis to show us that this doesn't need to happen again. To just end, but
that's what I tell when I speak. I'm like, you guys, please, I'm telling you, you do not need to be another Trey. You can make better decisions. 100%. But I think Trey was so stuck in the pain of losing his wife, that he could not see past that. Even though I kept trying to tell him, if you'd get sober, if you would clean up your act, you don't know that you guys aren't going to meet again. Melissa loved Trey and still loves Trey. She's always going to love Trey. She's a beautiful person. She's been involved with another guy, and at first it hurt. I wasn't ready for it. But the more I prayed about it, the more I'm okay with it, because I told her from the beginning, you're going to find someone, God's going to put somebody in your life, and you're going to be treated the way you need to be treated, with the respect and the love that you deserve. And this guy is really, really good from what I know. He has a ranch. Alex learned how to ride a cow or a horse. It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
I love it. I think
it's funny. So you said that, and he showed that picture of my wife. I'm living proof of what you just said, because I was thinking the same thing. Because my wife left me, and she knew that she was at her wit's end or whatever, like, because I needed help, and she, we weren't fully through the divorce, but we were separated. She didn't want anything more to do with me. My addiction took over, right? So you are 100% right. So, it does happen. It's so for me and my wife are back together now. I've been clean and sober for 3.5 years.
Congratulations.
We just celebrated our 20th anniversary, but I could have never
I know
done
in
that.
my heart. I believe that they would have reconciled if Trey would have just gotten clean and sober, you know.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen.
But even if they didn't, Phyllis, I guarantee you one thing: they would have had a way better fucking relationship, right? Because
Either way.
right?
Yeah.
So sobriety, like, and again, I'm not.
But he
so-
couldn't see that. He couldn't see past that.
Yeah, right. I get it.
He was
I get it.
stuck in the pain.
But
you know.
but you know what? In his defense, we can't, because
No.
it's our
That's the
addiction,
other
right?
thing.
And like, so every one of us on this screen right now, I can feel it and I can sense it. Feel like, you know what I mean? I can tell we all are genuine good people. We have good hearts.
Absolutely.
But
There's you know, these 2 years I've wanted to use, I've wanted to drink. I've came so close.
She's come to me with that. She just called. I was like, what
So
a privilege.
close.
She's calling me about this.
Yeah.
Like, and you didn't. And like, you know what? That I personally drew from that strength that you showed at me. So I've been, you know, these are tangible results from logical decisions in sobriety. And, you know, it's, you know, I benefited from meeting you, knowing you, you know, like, it's just, I was thinking about, you were talking about relapse, and we're talking about, like, well, what happens? Like, it's such a, it used to be, I think it used to be very taboo to say, oh my God, I relapsed. I was a day away from 90. Like, I always heard that shit. And I'm just like, they ran and hid. You know what I mean? They turned a bad decision into a fucking problem. And that's what we seem to do. So I don't want to let the reins up on anybody that is gaming the system.
Because I think Tim, with you saying that, sorry to interrupt, but I think what happens there is people are so scared what other people are going to think, and they're ashamed and all that. And don't be, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, especially someone who has a little bit of sobriety under their belt and relapses or whatever. I'm like, obviously, I'm not praising it. I'm not condoning it neither. But I mean, if you got some time in sobriety and you make a little hiccup and a mistake, you already have tools in your bag, what you know you need to do. You know what I mean?
You know?
So just like, so Larry will say that, or so I think it's Larry, like, jump on the horse and get back and get going. Like, you, so if that does happen, you have tools, you have information, you have direction, you have some sobriety under your belt. We all know what we have to do if it happens, is what I'm saying. So, I mean,
back in the day, there used to be white chips. The white chips were sign of serenity and all that. I picked up enough white chips to tile a whole bathroom floor, but it
like
didn't
the 24
matter.
hour ones, you mean? Yeah.
You know, I just kept coming back. You know, there was a guy in there,
and thank God you did. Look at you. You know what I mean? Exactly.
Every time I walked into a meeting, he goes, Phyllis, do you need a fucking white chip today? Because he knew me.
Give me a white chip, right?
You know, he knew me. I'm like, no, I don't need one today. Maybe tomorrow, but not today.
Yeah.
You know, and here I am, coming up on 15 years because it worked, and it continues to still work.
Yeah.
You know?
It does.
And honestly, a lot of the people that I have met in my recovery, and I shouldn't say very few, but there's more people that have stumbled a few times or whatever I'm trying to say. You know what I mean?
I get it.
No one got it perfect the first time. I don't think anybody ever gets it perfect, but you know what I mean? You hear more stories of like, oh, I've been to rehab 5 times. I've been, and that's okay. But they kept going, and they kept, like you just said, Phyllis, so what? You got fucking 3,643 white chips. Like, who cares?
What matters?
You know, you got 15
back.
years. So exactly. You know what I mean?
Keep coming back.
Right.
The color changes for multiple years, and it looks like that. I couldn't even find
I got out of prison April of 2011. My sobriety date is November. Prison wasn't my bottom either. I thought it was a wonderful idea to get involved with a guy that was 20 years younger than me, and let's just go do a bunch of meth and drink. Okay, that was the good decision. And I finally Genius decision. Finally, when I saw, you know, all the sores and I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
Oh, the sores are where that gets me.
Yeah.
Brad, I don't think you got as dirty as me and Phyllis did, but we could get dirty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like we'll pick it. Like, meth is terrible. Like, you'll pick shit.
It's the devil's.
Oh
yeah, so I never got into meth. I'm sure when I bought cocaine, I'm sure there was meth in it.
Cocaine,
but,
you're in
let's
the
just
same
take the TV apart for 12 hours and see where all these wires
It gets crazy. It's fucking Breaking Bad. It's crazy town. Like, no matter, I've never had a fucking normal meth experience. I don't even know what that means. I've only done it like 5 times. It was all fucking wacko. It was like days on end. I'm like, what do you mean it's Tuesday? They're like, no, it's next Friday. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm trying to build a lawnmower over here and start a
People
business.
tell my couple of my sponsees told me that they've stayed up for like 14 days. I'm like, what? How do you do that?
I
How do
did
you do
one.
that?
I stayed up for 14 days when I was in horrendous withdrawal in 2004 at a fucking boot camp rehab. I was digging a hole, detoxing. I'd stay fucking 14 days digging a hole. I'm out in the field. I'm like, I'm here. Hello. Can I come in? I don't know what's happening. I don't know if they know I'm there. Like my stuff's there. Anyway, yeah, I didn't sleep for fucking forever. And I remember the first dream I had, man. I was home. I opened the front door to my house, and it's a fucking cliff a million miles down. There's no anything but just a cliff. I remember looking at it, and I remember hanging over the edge thinking, you're sleeping. This is probably a good thing. And it was my first time I was sleeping. So like when you don't sleep for a fucking week straight and it eludes you like that and it finally comes back, I mean, that was a spiritual awakening for me. Fucking hey, man. I just slept for 5 minutes, didn't piss the bed. Build a lawnmower, right? You have to. Did you guys see the fucking? Did you guys see this? I hate to break into it, but it went from day to night in Spain today.
What the hell is that?
It was solar eclipse. They had their first eclipse in decades. As I listen to this, I don't think these people know how to act. Like when a solar eclipse, when it hits, everybody screams and cheers. These people have no idea what they're watching right Fucking 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
I could not imagine watching this thing all wasted.
Right?
There's just no
449,
way.
are you not supposed to be on that aircraft?
Oh, I didn't cut that one. Oh, did you see this fucking guy? Hey, Brad, did you see this fucking guy that stole the plane?
No, I didn't.
I will not gonna show it to you. His name is Bubba or something. He stole a fucking plane and he's all guys on the radio. And they're like, or should you be in the shut up. Fuck you, Chuck. It's the guy stole like an airplane, like, and he's talking to the tower. He's like, I did something bad and whatever. So it really was crazy.
Up in the air. Oh man, I stole an airplane. What the?
Yeah. Anyway, that was the end of the shit I was stealing. So yeah, they had a solar eclipse over there.
I seen something about that today about the eclipse or something. Yeah. What was the question? What was that fancy question again?
Yeah.
I don't know. Chuck Nip's pissing me off.
Oh, who cares about him? What about that question that we had for Phyllis and I?
Oh, yes. So you guys want to circle back to that?
I kind of do. I can't remember what it was now.
I can't even. It's here. It was. What are you still trying to prove, and how? Who are you still trying to prove it to? Who are you trying to prove? Jimmy's answer was, I want to prove the man. I'm stronger man. Blah, 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 blah. So that would be it. Who are you trying to prove? What are you trying to prove, and who are you trying to prove it to? But we talk all over our guests, so we'll just stop talking now and condense this into a 20-minute broadcast. I'm looking for Bradley.
So for me, what am I trying to prove? I think deep down, and sometimes I don't even realize I'm actually doing it. And I never actually thought about it till you mentioned that question tonight. So this is healthy for me.
Right.
I think I still try to prove to, especially the ones that are close to me, my family, my people that I loved the most, that I'm doing good. You know what I mean? Like I still have that down in my head where I'm like, people think, you know what I mean? Like I always still think that people think bad things.
Right.
And I shouldn't think that way, but I think I still try to prove that in weird ways. And I never thought about it till honestly just now, because again, I'm my own worst enemy and I get in my own head. So I always think of what other people are thinking, and they're probably not even thinking that. So sometimes I'll try to overprove. I don't know how to explain that, but sometimes I'll try to, oh, look at me, how good I'm doing, and all that type of shit.
Drill it home.
I almost drill it home. And I never thought about it till tonight. So I'm glad you brought that up, because that I just realized and that's this part of recovery that I love. There's something that I need to work on because other people don't probably have that much energy to waste that much time thinking about me. All right.
Right.
And so I'm glad you brought that up. So that's something I need to work on. I need to prove to myself that I'm worth it. Right. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I don't know. I know it's kind of off topic, but it made me realize about something that a character defect that I still have that I need to work on. So that's what this podcast and this recovery train does for me. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. I couldn't agree more. All right, let's read our just for today and get out of here. Or wherever that is.
In closing here on Talkin Trash podcast, we read an NA traditional reading called Just for Today.
This is the moment I break through. Okay, let's see. It is entitled Enough, I believe. Yes, it is. Thus for today is called Enough. Brad, you want to read her?
Sure, I can. So you want to put that Chuck comment down for Christ's sake?
Doing the best I can here.
No, that wasn't you. I was just I was reading it and getting anyway.
Prick. He's probably drinking again. Good on him. Asshole.
Just for today.
There you have it.
Where are we? Just for today. Enough. Something inside cries out. Enough, enough. I've tried enough, or what? I've tried enough, and then they are ready to take the first and often most difficult step toward dealing with their disease. Sometime inside cries out. I just said that one.
Yep.
Where are you?
The bottom
Is it
says
again?
NA just for today. No, you're good. Good.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
How we do it?
Has Will really had enough? This is the crucial question we must ask ourselves as we prepare to work the first step in erotics.
Oh my God! Did I do that?
I think that's what it says. Anonymous.
Oh,
It doesn't.
what it says.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether or not we arrived in NA or our families intact. Our careers still working for us in all the outward appearances of wholeness. All that matters is that we have reached an emotion in the spiritual bottom that precludes our return to active addiction. If we have, we will be truly ready to go to any lengths to quit using. When we inventory our powerlessness, we ask ourselves some simple questions. Can I control my use of drugs in any form? What incidents have occurred as a result of my drug use that I didn't have to happen? How is my life unmanageable? Do I believe in my heart that I am an addict? If the answers to these questions lead us to the doors of Narcotics Anonymous, then we are ready to move on to the next step toward the life free from active addiction. We have truly had enough. Then we will be willing to go to any lengths to find recovery. JFT. Just for today. I admit that I have had enough. I am ready to work the first step. If not, I get another opportunity in a few hours. I love that. Please recover at a reasonable volume after 10 p.m.
There you have it. I've had enough. Yep. I don't know. This is the day. So anyway, we are a amateur podcast who do this for free, and you know what? I'm grateful for you guys. I'm grateful for Phyllis to come on here and share her strength and hope again.
Thank you for having me.
You're a family all day, every day. You know that. So
I gotta say for me, Phyllis, yeah, man, thank you, because I know you've been on 5 times. I'm so thankful that I got to be here for the 5th, because you are an inspiration, and what you do and what you bring to the recovery community, as I can feel all the way here in Canada from Georgia, baby, Alabama. I mean, you're doing a good job, and some of the stuff that you've had to deal with, I inspire your strength and your courage. So thank you very much, Phyllis. I really mean that.
Jenny, we love you. Jenny, Bethany, Matt Johnson, everybody out there. Very Rock Bottom Revival. We're going to be kind of working together with them. We're going to help them out. We're going to and get the what we were freely given back to us. That's the point of this thing. And I love them. I think they're fantastic. Just polish them up a little bit and send them going. Take the training wheels off. They'll be great. So, Phyllis, bye, Phyllis. All right.
Thank you, Phyllis.
Love you. I'll see you in a little bit.
Oh,